Indeed, this is Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler. It is time for awesome tech you can't buy yet. And of course, that is our weekly segment with Mr. Drew Prindle joining us right now. Drew, hello, number one. Number two, what are we talking about here right out of the gate? Which one do you want to go to?
Let's start with the one that I could use the most right now, considering how dark this video looks. Let's talk about the big softy, this light. So basically what this thing is a little mobile light that's designed to improve the quality of your video calls, which all of us are doing much more now, thanks largely to the coronavirus and the fact that all of everything, social interaction, work, it all happens through Zoom and other video chat apps and stuff like that. And one of the big problems that you run into is, as you can see, the lighting isn't always great. And the problem is the stuff that's built into our phones and computers typically just doesn't do the tricks. So, which is why you see a lot of people buying external lights that they can put on a tripod or whatever and improve the video quality. This is basically that same idea, but just kind of shrunken down into a smaller, more convenient form factor. And it's just got a lot of neat little features going on with it. So the first one is the fact that it's got a bunch of different light sources. So instead of just being one LED, it's a bunch of them that they've packed into this small little thing, and then they've got it diffused so it softens the shadows and just makes everything look better. And it's also, the other thing that I love about it is you can use it as a battery if you're not using it as a light. So it's just a convenient thing to have in your bag. So if your phone starts dying, you can charge up, or if you need it for video, you can use it as what it's intended for, as a light.
That's a really cool added-on feature, actually, to be able to charge it on top of that. And I'm looking at it. I mean, and really, if it's this good of a light, the price isn't that bad for what.
Yeah, you'll pay a lot more for lights than $59. And the fact that it's kind of smartphone sized means it fits in a pocket pretty easily. Won't take up a ton of space wherever you put it. Yeah, I'm super into this thing. I might get one because, as you can see, I need one.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to pick one up too, because I mean, the thing is, as we're all learning, if you didn't know before, lighting really does take a lot of work. So if you have something that's simple enough to clip on and use it, then that's awesome. So that's a big softy. And again, part of awesome tech you can't buy yet. Taking a look at some of the different crowdfunding campaigns that are out there that Drew has scoured the internets for us to bring to us. That one comes from Australia. That one has been, let's see, it was a $12,000 goal. Right now they're at $122,000. So everybody wants that. So you can check that out there. What's the next one you want to hit?
Let's talk about this Tixit One system, which I think will appeal mostly to musicians, but I think it's something that we can all get behind because it makes the work of musicians and putting on live shows easier for them. So really all it is a system of totally wireless receivers and transmitters that are universal. So basically what that means is depending on what tip you put on them, you can plug them into an amp, you can plug them directly into your guitar, your keyboard, your microphone, your mixing board, whatever it may be. You just plug in the receiver and the transmitter to the instrument, whatever it's sending to, and it does all of the stuff through an app. So it's super simplified, and you don't have just a rat's nest of cables all over the floor and everything. And you got to check out the video. It makes it look like they've totally simplified the process of setting up for a live show, which, as I said, I think is something that we can all get behind.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I can say, as somebody who's a musician, having all the cables sucks. Wireless is so much better, but it can be expensive, and sometimes they don't work very well. So if they figured out one that works really well, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, one of the things that they are touting on this campaign pretty prominently is the fact that they've somehow figured out how to get the latency down much lower, which is one of the big problems with these wireless systems is there's a bit too much of a lag. And when you're playing music, you can't have that. You have to be timing has to be on. Even just a little bit of latency might screw up the whole thing. So they've somehow they've gotten it down to under 2 milliseconds, which is more or less just not perceivable to the human ear.
Yeah, 2 milliseconds. That would hardly be anything. I wonder what the range is on this. I'm not sure if it says there. It probably says it on here somewhere, but that would be the other thing that I would wonder about, of just how far it is. I do see that it's
if you're playing, a stadium show, and you got to be a half a football field away from your rhythm guitarist. Yeah, obviously, Greg. We got to have.
I mean, what if you want to run around and But if you want to run around and swoop in, over the crowd or something, you got to make sure that the latency is still good right there. That's what I'm looking at for these things. But anyway, nonetheless, that is the ATYCBY T1 wireless all-in-one audio system. So pretty cool right there. They're, let's see, 16 days to go. They're a little over halfway pledged for their goal. So I'm going to guess that that's something that once more people know about it, they're going to be into that. All right, going from there, we've got one more here for awesome tech you can't buy yet. What is the final one?
It's called the Capra, and it's a chair. It's like a camp chair for camping with, but it's much. I'd say it's like an evolution of the crappy camp chair that we're all like used to. The ones that you have to like fit into their stupid little sleeve, and they always break, and they're really not like super convenient, despite the fact that they fold up. This is an evolution of that. So it's got the design that's kind of similar to the lightweight, like ultralight backpacking chairs that you see in REI that cost like $100. But it's got a couple of sweet features. So it's like reconfigurable. So you can use it as a stool. You can use it as like a super reclined chair. It's got a little a cup holder that you can attach to it. But the thing that I really like about it is you can basically break it down and make it lighter if you want to. So instead of using those back poles, you can actually take those off completely and then use them with trekking poles instead. So if you actually want to take a chair with you and you're doing like backpacking or something, you can cut out the unnecessary weight and use what you already have with you, which is trekking poles, and use those as poles in the chair.
That's pretty cool to be able to adapt it like that. And this one, let's see. I like how they do highlight huge cup holder. That is important. A cup holder is very important when you're up there.
Yeah, and it's often
it is a huge cup holder.
Yeah, and it's often neglected. That's a feature that you won't always find in these little camp chairs, like especially these ones that are trying to be like lightweight and everything.
Right? Yeah. So you got that. You can adapt it to different things. Fold, clip, fill, carry. Oh yeah. So the carry bag is what you use for your cup holder. All right. That's pretty cool. So this one is, let's see, taking a look here. So it's the Capra freakishly strong adaptive light chair system. How much is this thing going for?
I mean, our thing here on the ticker says 200.
I could probably pull that information up rather than throw you on the spot. $269 looks like.
Which is pretty damn steep, but if you're looking for something that you can use like at barbecues and take it like backpacking and like have something super lightweight, yeah, that's a damn decent deal. I mean, I've seen chairs that cost more than that.
Right. Yeah, I would say if you're just car camping, that's probably not. That's a little steep, but yeah,
it's a little bit more than the $6 ones that you can find at Walmart. So yeah, understandable if that's a little bit too rich for your blood.
Yeah, although the $6 ones do not hold up if you're going anywhere other than just sitting right by your car, and even then they don't hold up very long. So I can see the value of that. Well, anyway, that's part of awesome tech you can't buy yet. Taking a look at 3 different things every week, and then we've got all of these up at Digital Trends too. It's really cool to still see innovation happening. So these are some of the ones that Drew has highlighted for us. And Drew, as always, good to talk to you. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, see you, man.